Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a book haul and I'm wearing the same outfit as I was in my last video because I'm filming the same day. I got some Jamba Juice, I've got some stacks of books in front of me, so we're gonna get into it. I think I've decided that I'm gonna do a book haul every month. I've been buying enough books lately to do one every month and I don't want to get overwhelmed. If there is ever a month where I just don't buy a lot, then I guess I will just, hold off for a month. We got a special guest again. She keeps wanting to jump in my lap, so today I'm sitting on the floor filming because I feel like that would be better for her. Okay, the first stack here I have that I purchased, full price or whatever, and then I have some books that I got from Half Price Books, so they were a discount. And then I have some my book of the month books, and then I have a couple books I got from the library. So here we go. The first one is Wilder Girls by Rory Power. This is one of my favorite covers I've ever seen. And not only is her face is that of ribbon, just twirled ribbon. And it's not fully formed, obviously, but she is gorgeous for one. And then she has these flowers that are kind of coming up out of her face. This is beautiful. I love this color, and I really wish that I could pull off a haircut like this because oh my god, look how pretty she is. She's so cute. I don't know what this is about. I know that it's considered some dark academia, which is why I bought it, because I needed it for my 2021 Pop Sugar Challenge, which, spoiler alert, I'm not sticking to that well. But at the end of the year, I am going to go back to it, because I am still going to read books from the prompts, but I had my entire TBR picked out for the whole year from those book prompts. And I'm getting a little overwhelmed with it because I've had to DNF 2 books because I didn't want to read them, and I'm trying to do the challenge in order. And now I have all these books in front of me that I want to read because I just bought them, and none of them fit with prompts. So I'm just going to read what I want for a while and see if they just fit with prompts. And at the end of the year, I'll just see how many prompts I ended up, going through without trying. Okay. Anyway, I don't really know what this is about, but it's dark academia, so it is some type of a school. This just says they told us to wait and stay alive. So I'm gonna assume that it's, some maybe scary. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I didn't really look anything up when I bought it, because that's just the type of person I am. The second book that I got was The Deep by River Solomon. I actually read this already. It is a pretty good book. It's basically the whole concept is, oh my god, and look at that cover. The whole concept is the women who were thrown off slave ships and also pregnant basically gave birth in the water to mermaids, or I don't think they evolved into mermaids. I think they came out. Excuse me, can you stop? I think they came out as mermaids. At least that's kind of how it was described in the book. So you're basically, and it's not that is what the premise is about, but that's not it. That's not all there is. There's actually a little bit of a love story in here, which I wasn't expecting, but it was beautiful. It was actually a lesbian love story, which was even more fun. I don't know. It kind of reminded me a little bit, just a tiny bit of The Little Mermaid. Just because the mermaid she has this job in her community or tribe. I don't know. I don't remember what they called themselves. She has this job though, and she doesn't really want it. She wants to know what's outside of the ocean. She wants to know what's outside of the deep. She ends up being able to see that at some point, and then somebody that she meets kind of gets along with animals better. So it's kind of like she wants to be on land and this person would rather be in the water almost. So it's like kind of beautiful. I did like it though, but I wasn't expecting some parts, and then it took me a little while to get through it. So I did end up downloading the audiobook off Scribd, and I listened to it, and David Diggs reads it, and he is from like episodes of Law and Order and stuff. He's also like a voice actor, and he is so good. He does the girls' voices and everything. He does a great job. So there's that. Okay, today I went to Barnes & Noble and I bought these 3 books, these next 3 that I'm about to talk about. So I got Secret Santa by Andrew Schaefer, and this at the bottom just says The Gift That Keeps on Giving, which is fun. This one is about a woman who starts a new job in the 80s, and her coworkers don't really like her, so they start like pranking her a little bit, and which is also I think called harassment nowadays. Sorry, that was feminist. They start like pranking around with her, and then she gets a Secret Santa gift, and then all of a sudden her coworkers start being picked off, I think, like dying. And she's like, what the hell is going on here? This must have something to do with my like Secret Santa gift. I'm hoping this is gonna scare the shit out of me. So also, I'm not a big Christmas fan. I'm all about Halloween and all that scary shit, so anything about Christmas that might scare me, I'm into it. Cannot wait to pick this one up. Okay, fun story with this book. A couple years ago, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, I actually don't know when this came out. When did this come out? 2017. So about 3 years ago, I was working at a cafe and I took care of their vending machines. So I was with the girl that was actually training me to take over for her on the vending machines, like doing that job. And we went to Sam's Club so we could get snacks for the vending machines. We passed the book aisle because you have to, in the Sam's Club closest to my house, you have to pass like the clothes and like the entertainment stuff in order to get to all the snacks. So we passed the books, and like on the outside of all the books there was this book cover, and I remember it clear as day. I was like, I have to look at that before we leave. And I told her about it. She was a reader too, so she understood. And then I totally forgot about it, but I remember the cover vividly. And I tried to look up, like I tried to Google the book with the book with the bathtub on it, and I couldn't find anything. And one day I was scrolling the internet, and I think I was on like Goodreads or something, and this book was recommended to me, and I was like, oh my god, there it is. It is A Good Idea by Christina Morocco. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I found this today, and I was like, it's just fate. I have to have this. Also, had no idea it was YA. This is a YA book. I'm like, this looks scary as shit. Look at this cover. It's like woodsy, and then it has just some random bathtub in the middle of the woods. This just makes me think of like Serial Killer Central. Like, look at this. Let me see if I can find a little blurb on here. Yeah, it doesn't have one. Well, it says rural noir at its creepy literary best. So that was somebody's little blurb on here. But I'm really excited about this. It's pretty like hefty, I think. It's like 350 pages. But YA and creepy, and I think I'm getting a little bit more into YA. I just recently finished Blood of Wonderland, which is the Queen of Hearts like second book, and I'm like, I really like this. I think I'm gonna start like getting myself more into YA because I'm into it. So here I go, dipping my toe a little further. Also, Wilder Girls is YA too. So there is this, and I can't wait to read this one either. This one. I just said this one, and it reminded me of one of my friends. This one. I can't wait. Okay. This last book I got from Barnes & Noble is a big ass bitch. Let's see how many pages it is. without peeking. 680 pages, and it is Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales. Now, this may be a dumb thing to say, me being a book reader and whatnot. I'm not a Disney lover. I don't really know where the idea for Disney movies came from. Turns out, most of them are in this big ass book. The Brothers Grimm. They are fairy tale writers, but their fairy tales are 100% extremely dark. And I had no idea that this wasn't even a fucking thing. So, it doesn't say when this was, like, first published, but I'm gonna guess, like, around the 1800s. It has to be. So, I'm gonna read just a couple of the stories that they have in here that I had no idea were actually, like, really dark fairy tales back in the day. Let's see. We have Little Red Riding Hood, Rumpelstiltskin. Maybe I should just read the back. Okay, it says more than 200 of the world's best-loved fairy tales illustrated by Arthur Rackham includes Little Red Riding Hood, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Cinderella, Hansel and Gretel, Rapunzel, Rumpelstiltskin, Tom Thumb, and the Frog Prince, and many, many more. See, I had no idea that The Little Mermaid and, you know, Cinderella and all of those were, like, made up by these dudes in a very, very dark way, but I am so stoked about this. My friend was actually telling me about this a few months ago, and he was like, The Little Mermaid one is, like, kind of fucked up. So I cannot... Is The Little Mermaid in here? Please. I really kind of wish The Little Mermaid was in here. Well, it says the complete, right? My alarm on my phone just went off, and my phone is turned up, like, all the way, and that's just scared the living shit out of me. Oh my god. Okay. I was trying to look for The Little Mermaid. I can't find it, but I'm probably just not looking hard enough. But I'm excited for this. Maybe it's not called The Little Mermaid. Maybe it's called something else. Oh well, doesn't matter. I'm really excited about this. And they're pretty short stories. I mean, they, like, even start in the middle of pages, and they go on for, like, maybe 4 or 5 pages. Like, this one starts in the middle of the page, and then it ends 4 pages later in the middle. So I'm excited about this. I cannot wait to read this. And that's going to be an ongoing theme in this videos. I can't wait to read any of these books. Okay, the next 4 I have are from Half Price Books, and I went shopping there like a week ago. Like, exactly a week. I went last Saturday. The first book that I picked up is Mary Higgins Clark's Daddy's Little Girl. I have a couple of favorite Mary Higgins Clark books. This is one of them. I just remember vividly, like, this picture and reading this book and how much I absolutely loved it. Also, this one reminds me a lot of the episode of... There's an episode of Law and Order with, what is her name? Deborah Messing. And she basically runs a TV show, kind of like Chris Hansen, like To Catch a Predator type stuff. And she, when she was like 7 years old, her sister got abducted and murdered when her sister was like a teenager, and they never found her killer. So like all these years she's just been trying to solve her sister's murder, and at the end of the day she like ends up doing it. But that's what this reminds me of. Like, this, if you like that episode of Law and Order, you know what I'm talking about. I think it's in season 10. You will like this book. Like, that's all I'm gonna say about that. The next one is the Amityville Horror by Jay Anson, or Anson, I don't know. Obviously everybody knows the story of Amityville Horror. It's a haunted house. The Lutz family moves in, and they find out that the DeFeo family actually got murdered in that house. And the DeFeo son is like a nutcase, and he killed his whole family because like he was possessed by the demon or whatever. It's all bullshit, but still a fun horror story. Also, this book, it just reminds me of Karen Kilgariff, because she said that she used to, when she was in middle school, she would she went to Catholic school, so she would like check this out, and Sister Rita Rose would be like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, it's in the library, let her do it. But that, every time I like think about this book and that movie, like it reminds me of her. But I can't wait to read it. If she could read it as a 12-year-old, I can read it as a 29-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. So yeah, stoked. All right, the next book that I have on this list is The Irishman by Charles Brandt, and this one is obviously a Netflix movie now. This movie was first published as I Heard You Paint Houses. That's at the bottom right here. You can see I Heard You Paint Houses. I like that title better than The Irishman. I Heard You Paint Houses is just like, if you've never seen the movie, you don't know what the hell that means. If you've seen them, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? But this is the only copy at Half Price Books, and it's literally half priced is what it would be. It's $9, and this book is, yeah, an original $17. So like it is literally half priced, or almost. And I was looking at it, and there was like 3 or 4 little bastards. Whoever bought this book originally only bought it for $10. I was kind of looking for the I Heard You Paint Houses cover. I want that one. I just like it so much better. But then as I was looking at this one, I was like, you know what? I'm not mad about having freaking Robert De Niro on my bookshelves. Hello. I love Robert De Niro. I don't care how old he is. Don't care. He does something for me. I love him. Also, Joe Pesci, I feel like you just can't go wrong. Also, Primetime Pacines. Al Pacino. Can't go wrong with these 3. I just love having them on my bookshelves. But yeah, I'm not mad at, him on my bookshelf. Anyways, relax. I bought it, and I do like that it says originally published as I Heard You Paint Houses. Like, at least that is somewhere on this book. Also, still really like the I Heard You Paint Houses title. So, the next one I have is The Last House Guest by Megan Miranda. I have no idea what this book is about. I really have no idea. And it just says on the back here, praise for the perfect stranger. I don't know what that means. And there's not like, oh, don't overstay your welcome. That just says it right there. I'm not gonna read it. I found it for like $5, and I was like, I think I saw that in Target the other day. And I love a good thriller, so I just picked it up. Okay, the next 3 are my book of the month choices for my book of the month choices for January. Are we still in January? Yes. Okay. So my book of the month choice was Outlawed by Anna North. This one is basically like a feminist, what does it say? A feminist Western. So I think it's kind of like Wyatt Earp, but female. You know, Wyatt Earp, is that a person? I don't know, but that's what it reminds me of. It's just female, like, bank robber back in, like, the Western days. That might sound a little boring, but I don't care. It's a fun premise, and I am into it, so. And I love a strong female badass in a book. Like, I just don't care, so. The next one that I picked up is The Prophets by Robert Jones Jr. I couldn't pass this book up. I couldn't, like, not pick it. These are both actually January picks, so you can get either of these right now still as a January pick. But I couldn't pass this one up. This is basically a male to male romance, like way sorry, my throat is really dry. Okay, this one has a blurb. A singular and stunning debut novel about the forbidden union between two enslaved young men on a deep South plantation, the refuge they find in each other, and the betrayal that threatens their existence. It just sounds like it's gonna be absolutely beautiful. It sounds like it's probably gonna tear at me a little bit. When I was in school, when we learned about like slavery, and we always touched on like what happened with like the Black community around February, obviously, for Black History Month. So we would watch in school as like a 5th grader. Was the first time I think I ever saw the movie, I think it was Roots. And then when I was younger, a movie that I had seen and watched was Rosewood, I think it was called. And it was all about, Roots was like the slavery days, and then Rosewood was like the 50s, 60s, when like, I mean, racism is still a very serious and like ongoing thing that is happening. And I just find it to be absolutely disgusting. So books like this, like I can't wait to pick this up just so that I can educate myself just a little bit more. And I know it's fiction, but it doesn't matter. It's probably going to be beautiful. And even if the writing in it sucks, the story is already is tearing at me a little bit. I love to read stuff that is just going to, look at her face. I love to read stuff that I think is going to, for one, educate me a little bit, for two, be just a good, heartfelt, gut-wrenching story. And I just love, honestly, to read about awful fucking things and to watch awful movies. And I also just love to learn about like new stuff and to educate myself. So I couldn't pass that book up. It just looks and sounds so interesting. Can you please stop? Go away. And then the last book I picked up as an add-on. Oh my god. What? I'm sorry, I just realized this. I'm sorry if you can hear any buzzing or like noise. For some reason, when my neighbors take a shower or have like their water running at any time, it buzzes through my entire apartment. It never used to do that, but I haven't had a neighbor down there in like months, until like maybe a month ago they moved in, and it just is so obnoxious. Like, you can probably tell it just stopped. I'm sorry if you could hear that through this whole video. As I'm editing this video, I bet that's gonna drive me absolutely crazy. I'm sorry. Okay, I got Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I'm reading this one right now. I have some tabs in here because I want to be at a certain spot for certain days. But I'm about 50 pages in and I'm really liking it. I mean, 50 pages isn't a lot, especially when you have like a 450 page book to read. And you barely have any of the story, but oh my god, what? When you barely have any of the story so far, it's dark. There's been death. There's been probably murder. There has been some ghost sightings, which, what the hell? I didn't know that was going to be a thing. It says the mesmerizing adult debut from Leigh Bardugo. Tale of power, privilege, dark magic, and murder set among the Ivy League elite. Also dark academia, if you guys were wondering. Okay, now, the two books that I got from the library go with my Pop Sugar 2020 2021 reading challenge, but like I said, I can't follow that right now. But they're on it, and I have to have these back before February 5th, so I'm gonna read them anyway. This one is Darling Rose Gold by Stephanie Roble, and this one is about a girl who, for a really long time, she didn't know that she could walk. She didn't know that she wasn't sick, and it turns out her mom has Munchausen's by proxy. Honestly, reading the synopsis for this, it just reminds me of Gypsy Rose Blanchard and her killing her mom, except for this mom is in prison, and when she gets out, Rose Gold has her come and stay with her, which is fucking weird. And I don't know what's gonna happen, but the premise reminded me of also that new movie Run with Sarah Paulson. Me and my sister and my sister and my mom watched that on vacation when we were there for Thanksgiving, and oh my god. During the movie, this is just a funny story. During the movie, my son got sick, and it turns out I think I got him sugar-free gummy bears while we were at the store instead of the regular gummy bears, and sugar-free gummy bears have a lot of sugar alcohol in them. He ate a lot of them, so he had a little bit of diarrhea. He was on the toilet, and he's 7, so he leaves the bathroom door open. And we were in the middle watching the movie, and my mom was like, "Are you okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm okay." And he's like being a good sport about it. And she goes, "Do you want some medicine?" And just like joking around with him because we're watching a movie about a daughter getting poisoned basically by her mom. It's like, that shit was so funny. I guess you had to be there. So yeah, Darling Rose Gold. It sounds interesting. I don't know. It sounds interesting. And then the last book on this list, the next one I got from the library is Misery. I almost said It. Misery by Stephen King. And look at this picture. What's going on here? I wonder what he's thinking about. This is so funny. This doesn't even really look like him. That's funny. This one, everybody knows what Misery is about. It's about Paul Sheldon, who basically gets in a car crash. And I'm pretty sure he was driving drunk. But he gets in a car crash on his way to turn in his new book, his last book in the series of Misery. And he gets in a car crash and he breaks his shit, basically. Annie Wilkes takes him in, nurses him back to health. She doesn't like his new book she just read, and she's like, "You're gonna rewrite it," because Misery is her favorite character. And he goes, "I can't do that." And she goes, "You're going to do that." And then basically holds him captive because his legs are broke, so he can't go anywhere anyway. So she's nursing him back to health while simultaneously making him write her a new book, and then she burns his book in front of him. She's crazy. But yeah, that's it for this book haul. Pretty good one. Pretty good book haul. Look at all these books. I'm not gonna be able to hold them up. But there's, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 books. 14 books, you guys. 2 of them are library books, but that doesn't matter. Okay. I'm gonna go because I'm tired and I want to read. So I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!